for setting up EDI viewer for the Alberta Crown annual proration. As you can see on the screen right now, I'm actually in the GL upload window. I've retrieved my company code and my invoice, and what I see on the top left hand side right now is the invoice amounts. So that's showing me the 59,000, which comes from charge code 80, the 47 that comes from charge code 90, and the 54 that comes from charge code 95. That's coming off the invoice, and I want to get those amounts prorated back to wells. The 59,000 again can be made up of multiple years, as can 80 and 90. So I need to know the breakdown of that 59,000 by facility, by year, by client code in order to get my proration details going to the right places. So for part of the setup process is doing the monthly prorations first of all. So the bottom left part of the screen shows me exactly for 2012 I've done monthly prorations that total 275 million. I've done annual prorations for 2011 for 77.5, and I've done monthly for 2011 for 500,000, and I have the similar for 2010. So what this shows me here is that I've already been doing monthlies for 10 and 11, and here's 10 and 11. I started doing annual prorations for them for the adjustment amounts. This shows for 2012 I haven't done one, and in your situation you should see 2013 as monthly only, not anything else. You may see a 2014 on yours as well now, but our first proration for 2013 is going to happen this month in June of 2014 here. So the process for EDI viewer was changed this year so that the first time there's an annual proration, it reverses all the monthly estimates. So according to what you see on the bottom left-hand part of the screen, my 2012, there's no annual proration. So when I do my first annual proration, it's going to reverse the 2750 by cost center, and it's going to put all those entries going back to December of 2012 in that month. So that'll reverse the monthlies to zero, and then what I want to do is I want to book the total amounts, the year-to-date amounts for 2012 facilities, and come up with the correct difference. So example, if the monthly was, the annual total was 5 million, I'd be booking 2,250,000, reversing 2,750,000, and just the difference is what's going to be the netted in your financials. So in order to get these set up properly, another thing we can do is import what's called the Crown Share CCA, CP, and UOC text files. So they're on the import window. You'll just see there's a choice under file type where you can choose which Crown Share, capital cost, custom processing, or operating cost file you have. And those are text files you get off the registry. And if you get those, we want you to get as much data as you can from the registry and far back as you can, because we're trying to calculate a difference, and not every facility shows up on every text file. So example for that is you may have a June text file comparing to the May text file, but one facility on June, the last time it was on a text file was March. So in that case we can't determine the difference between June and March, so we want to go back and have as much data and history as we can. So again, if you can import these text files, import as much data as you can get from the registry on those, and that'll set you up fine for that. So in this case, if I do import those, I'm going to go to the reports window, and I'm on the More Reports tab here, and there's 3 reports here: CCA allowance summary, the CP, and the op cost. So on the CCA, if I retrieve the data here, what I see is in the yellow band, the 2012 total is $3.46 under monthly adjustment. And if I scroll down, I'll see a 2011 total for 17 cents. If I scroll down, keep going down to the bottom, what I'm going to see is my total for the CCA is $59,243.73. So that, if I go back to the GLUp window, does balance to the CCA adjustment there, just so on. So again, our Crown invoice file balances to our Crown share CCA file differences. So again, for setting up the Crown annual proration, if you can import all this Crown share text files you can, what that does for you is it allows you to fill in these blanks to the right-hand side here. So on the right-hand side, right, I'm showing year 2013 right now. And on my CCA adjustment, CP adjustment, and UOC, I have 0. So I can simply key numbers in here if I wanted to, and that would prorate that amount back to that facility, to the wells in that facility. Okay. In order to do this, you need to know what the adjustment amount is. And that's where all the time is taken up, is figuring that out. Our Crown share reports will actually tell you the differences now if you import those files, so you could actually import those files and you have the amount you want. I'll set this back to 0. But I would also do is that I can also import data from this Crown share files and update these amounts here. So my totals at the bottom show zeros, means no data has been entered. Over here on the left-hand side under adjustment amounts, nothing's showing up here. So that means if I hit retrieve, it's going to ask me if I want to import the Crown share files. So it only asks this prompt here to update them, the data, if you've imported the Crown share files for the same invoice number. So here in this case, I have my Crown share files imported. I say yes. That'll bring the amounts in. On the left-hand side here, I should see what happens. So left-hand side is brought in $8 million for CCA adjustment for 2012, $600 for 2011, and 8 cents for 2010. The reason 2012 is so high is because, again, what we're doing an EDI viewer, the first time you do an annual proration, since we have no 2012 annual proration down here showing up, we know we're going to reverse the monthly amounts. So for 2012, we're bringing in the facility year-to-date amounts, not the differences. Next month, if we have a 2012 adjustment, we'll only be bringing the differences similar to what we see in 2011 here. So to show you that, if I go back and change my year to 2012, hit retrieve, what I'm seeing here for this facility of 1024 is the amount of $4,905.32. What that is showing me is that's the facility total for the year of 2012. If I want to validate that, I can go back to the reports, look at the Crown share report. If I go up to here, I see 4905 as the Crown share. The previous Crown share, 4905, monthly adjustment is 0. But in this case, since it's the first proration we're doing for 2012, we're using the Crown share numbers to fill in those facility amounts. Next month, anytime after the first month you do annual proration, so if I do another annual proration for 2012 next month, my monthly adjustment will be the number I'm pulling in here. If I do a quick filter on this to say, just show me 2011, oh, there are my little brackets there. If I show 2011, what it's showing me that the total monthly adjustment for 2011 is 607.56, which balances back to this amount here for my CCA. Again, so 2012 brought in the full facility amounts, 2011 only brought in the differences. The denominator on the right-hand side shows zeros right now because that's for a speed reason. Once you do the annual proration, they'll fill the denominators in for you so you can actually see what amounts it used to prorate the dollars for you. So as far as setup goes for EDI, if you're an annual Crown proration process, make sure you have monthlies done. Make sure you have your CCA files if you don't want to key all this information in there. And what's important to know is on the bottom left-hand side, I'm showing monthly and annuals in mine. You may not have that. You may only have monthlies. And if it's going to be an annual, we need to know what the annual number is. So in my situation here, I'm assuming in my financial system, I have 77,500 entered for CCA for year 2011. If you have nothing on the bottom here for 2011, 10, or 12, and you do an annual this month, we want to know the starting number. So we want to know what the annual total is in your financial, so we can actually put an entry in EDI viewer, so we have a starting point. So again, on the annual process, we need a starting point to do this. If you're not sure of that, give us a call and we can help you get set up that properly for that. But again, the process is we need to know what the annual total is in your financial system. If it doesn't balance to the bottom of EDI viewer on the left-hand side here, then we need to make an adjustment so we can actually get things in sync. So then when we book this difference for 2011 of $600, we're only booking $600 into our financials, not a different number than that. That's the process for setting EDI viewer up for Alberta Crown. The next video will show you how to actually run the proration process. Thank you.